Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to look at how Arsenal will line up versus Slavia Prague, and we're going to go straight into the formation. And is Mikel going to refer back to the 3-4-3 system, or is he going to stay with the 4-2-3-1? And I think Mikel will stay with the 4-2-3-1 formation, even though the 3-4-3 formation is something Mikel would probably want to put after the embarrassing loss to Liverpool and how unreliable our defence was versus Liverpool. So I think when it comes to Mikel Arteta, I think he's going to stick with the 4-2-3-1 formation, and we'll get right into the lineup. So I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Bernd Leno in goal, and even though there has been a lot of controversy with the likes of Emiliano Martinez always talking about Arsenal and the fact that Bernd Leno has competition, and the fact that other big legends such as Tony Adams are stating that Bernd Leno needs competition, and he would have wanted Emiliano Martinez to stay at the club so that a top team has two good goalkeepers. And in my opinion, it's done now. Emiliano Martinez has joined Aston Villa. We cannot do anything about it. Bernd Leno is going to be our number one goalkeeper, and he's someone that's contract runs out in 2023. So we have to hopefully give him a new deal soon, because it's either 2023 or 2022. And if it's my opinion, I think Bernd Leno is a decent goalkeeper, but he's someone that can go to the next level, but he has to stop making silly mistakes, and especially he has to improve his ability on the ball sometimes, because sometimes he makes passes, which I think while you're making the pass, you're making the defender in a much more difficult situation. So I think Bernd Leno will be in goal, even though some people might want to see Matt Ryan in there, but it's the biggest competition we have so far, and it's the only chance of getting some form of success and trying to make this season our best seasons, hopefully, by making it into the Champions League. And I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with the strongest lineup, and the strongest goalkeeper at the moment is Bernd Leno, as he's our number one goalkeeper. And now we're going to go into the left back position, and I would have straight away told you Kieran Tierney. And I'm saying the same thing that I'll probably say to Bernd Leno, that they both don't literally have any other options, and if you're going for that one man, they hold that place, so that's Bernd Leno in goal. And for left back position, it's Kieran Tierney, probably and arguably the most important player of this club, because I think we are going to really struggle with that Kieran Tierney, and hopefully his injury isn't as bad as we think, because it's already decided that he will miss both the quarter-final matches. So we have to wait and see if Kieran Tierney will be back at least for the semi-final or at least for the final, and we have to wait to even get there in the first place. So hopefully the Gunners were able to get this victory over Slavia Prague and qualify into the semi-final, where we could face Villarreal, and we have to wait and see what happens. But for me, in the left back position, there's going to be a lot of questions. Is Mikel Arteta going to go with Cedric Soares? Is he going to bring back Bukayo Saka in the left back position, or is he going to play the likes of Hector Bellerin or Callum Chambers in that left back position, or is he going to go with the likes of Pablo Mori in the left back position as well, or even Granit Xhaka? He looks like he's back fit after he was seen in the training videos. So there's a lot of options for Mikel Arteta, and this is where I would love to see him refer back to the 3-4-3 system, because we can have two flying wing backs. So you can bring in Bukayo Saka on the left wing back, and the likes of maybe Cedric Soares or Hector Bellerin or Callum Chambers in the right wing back position. But I think Mikel Arteta is going to stick with a 4-3-2-1 formation, as we're looking at how Arsenal line up versus Slavia Prague, and it's pretty much talking about how Mikel Arteta would sort this lineup. And I think, in my opinion, I would love to see a 3-4-3 system, because really think about it, even though it's a big change right now, because in terms of the game against Liverpool, we were shocking, and shocking is not the word to put it, in my opinion, because we were very awful. There's a lot of negativity from that game that we can take from that game. So hopefully the Gunners do something, and I think even a formation change could take us through to the final of this competition and maybe qualify into the semi-finals of this competition. So it's all on Mikel Arteta, but I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with the 4-3-2-1 formation, and the left back position I think is going to go with Cedric Soares. And for me, even though I'd love to see Bukayo Saka there and maybe change the formation around, I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Cedric Soares, as he has been seen as the replacement to Kieran Tierney, and they probably will be scratching their heads the fact that why did they not sign a left back cover in this January transfer window. But I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Cedric Soares in the left back position. Now we're going to move on to the left centre back position, and is Mikel Arteta going to go with Gabriel Magalhaes or Pablo Mori? For me, these two are the only players that are going to compete for that position, and I think these two have healthy competition and could really be useful for the following seasons to come, because I think if them two can rotate very well, I think we have the left centre-back position sorted very well, or even have the opportunity to play both of them in the left centre-back and right centre-back position, and those players are Gabriel Magalhaes and Pablo Mari. And for me, I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Gabriel Magalhaes. Even though I'd love to see Pablo Mari in that team, but I think, remember, Slavia Prague is a very aggressive team, and when you need a commanding centre-back, someone that's going to win your aerial duel, someone that's going to work hard for the team, someone that's very dominant, he has a good physicality, and that's Gabriel Magalhaes. I would love to see Pablo Mari there as well, but now we're going to talk about the right centre-back position, where I would love to see Pablo Mari in that position, because why not play the two players together? I've never seen that happen, but this could be the opportunity, because David Luiz is out for at least a month. We've got the likes of Rob Holding who can play there, we've got the likes of Callum Chambers who could play there, and pretty much those are the three options between Mari, Callum Chambers or Rob Holding. I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Rob Holding, to be honest, and you can see that moment against Liverpool, he could have done a bit better, but the cross was sublime by Trent Alexander-Arnold. You have to admit it, the guy has a beautiful right foot, and he can put in beautiful balls like that for Diogo Jota. But when it comes to Rob Holding, he's someone I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with, but I really want to see Pablo Mari in that right centre-back position. Just give him opportunity, let these two play together. They both speak Portuguese, I think, because even though Pablo Mari is Spanish, I think he's still playing in the Portuguese league. He should be able to speak a little bit of Portuguese, and both of them can communicate very well as well. And I think, why not play Pablo Mari? But since we're looking at how Mikel Arteta will line this Arsenal lineup, I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Rob Holding, even though I'd love to see Pablo Mari in that position. So next we're going to move on to the right back position, and hopefully I can find Rob Holding, and I don't think Rob Holding's even in this list. That's embarrassing. Okay, he's there. But when it comes to the right back position, who is Mikel Arteta going to go with? And Cedric Soares is not going to be there for option, because Mikel Arteta is going to probably play him in the left back position. So he's going to play in the right back position, and there's only two players he can choose from. It's either Callum Chambers or Hector Bellerin. And I really think I want to see Callum Chambers play there, because he's someone that's going to work for Mikel Arteta, someone that's coming to the end of his contract, so he wants to make sure he can get a contract extension. So he's going to work all his socks off and try to make sure this team can work as best as possible. But when it comes to Hector Bellerin, he has been constantly linked with a move away from the Gunners, and it looks very likely, even confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, that he will be leaving this summer transfer window, and he's 80 to 90% likely. And Arsenal already plotting a move for Achraf Hakimi. As you have seen from my latest videos, I've been always talking about Achraf Hakimi being a possible option, and the Gunners are ready to make him the Arsenal's top transfer target, and also put anything they have and everything they have to try and bring him to the Gunners. So when it comes to the right back position, who is Mikel Arteta going to go with? And my only problem with Mikel Arteta is this guy has so many favourites. If he can remove his bias from the game and really put players from their performance, I would definitely put even Cedric Soares there, because as I go back to the same thing again and again, I think Mikel Arteta should play a 3-4-3 formation because of the situation we are in, because we don't have a left back, and we need a flying left back. That's what Kieran Tierney is, a flying left back. He puts nice balls into the box. And why not Mikel Arteta go with a 3-4-3 formation? But I really think Mikel Arteta is going to go with a 4-2-3-1 formation, even though I would love to see a 3-4-3. And the reasons are going to be, as we see, till the end of the lineup. But I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with his favourite once more. That's going to be Hector Bellerin. And I don't think Callum Chambers is going to get his opportunity. As we all know, Hector Bellerin is Mikel Arteta's favourite. So then we're going to move to the left centre mid position, and it looks like good news. And if you're an Arsenal fan, you should be worried a little bit, because now we've gone to the stage where we're saying it's good news to have Granit Xhaka back. But I really do rate the guy for his turnaround of the season, the way he has changed from that situation, and it's good turning point in his career, and he's starting to become a crucial player of this team. And that is Granit Xhaka, and hopefully the Gunners are going to go for some more midfield depth, because when I look at midfield, there's only 4 midfielders that come to my mind. First of all, it's Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, El Neni and Dani Ceballos. Dani Ceballos is probably going to leave. El Neni, we still don't know if he's going to get a contract extension. Xhaka still looks unlikely, so the only reliable centre mid we have right now is Thomas Partey. So we have a good problem in our hands right now, because we need to get midfield depth ASAP. I think that's more of a transfer priority in my opinion. I think we need to get at least 2 players in the midfield minimum, or at least maximum, at least. I don't know what the Gunners are going to do. I don't know what Mikel Arteta and Eddie have planned, but they keep on saying that the summer transfer window is going to be a big turning point. And I really do believe in, for some reason, that we're going to see a lot of a huge overhaul in the squad, and that's hopefully good for the future, and hopefully we can get some success, but it all depends on the Europa League competition. So I think Granit Xhaka will be playing in that left centre mid position, and now in the right centre mid position, who is Mikel Arteta going to go with? And I think he's going to go with Thomas Partey, and the reason is there's no reason, because he's just sensational and he's the best midfielder we have. So Thomas Partey will be starting in that midfield, and hopefully he can get a good run of games going on. Hopefully there's no injuries, at least until the end of the season. He doesn't get no injuries. That will be really good for this Arsenal team, and really boost their morale and confidence when it comes to the midfield and progressing from defence to attack very quickly. And I think Thomas Partey has the capabilities, and someone that really is a top midfielder in my eyes. Now we're going to move to the left winger position, and this is where we have a lot of questions. And who is Mikel Arteta going to go with? In terms of what happened right now, well, Willian was in the press conference with Mikel Arteta today, so hopefully it's not, in my opinion, the hint that Willian's going to be starting in the left winger role and Aubameyang are going to get dropped off. But hopefully for me, I want to see one man playing there, and I think Mikel Arteta will actually go with him, and I think it's Nicola Pepe, because Nicola Pepe was pretty much invisible in the game versus Liverpool, because he pretty much didn't get the service he wants. He didn't get the opportunity to play. But I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Nicola Pepe, even though Emil Smith-Rowe is back. I would like to see Nicola Pepe there for a reason, even though I'd love to see Emil Smith-Rowe there as well. This is where I'm little bit indecisive, if we want to go with Nicola Pepe or if you want to go with Emil Smith-Rowe. If Emil Smith-Rowe cannot play the full 45 minutes, cannot start the game, then I'll rather see Nicola Pepe there instead of Willian, because first of all, if Mikel Arteta is going to play this 4-3-2-1 formation, 4-2-3-1 formation actually, if he's going to play this formation, I think Cedric Soares and Nicola Pepe have a very good relationship when it comes to progressing the ball in terms of attacking together. As we even saw in that moment, even though it was a bad turning point in the game against Wolves, I really thought that was probably Nicola Pepe's best performances, and it was underlooked in my opinion. And I thought the connection between him and Cedric Soares was something that really changed this game in my opinion. And I think Nicola Pepe should play in the left winger role only if Emil Smith-Rowe is injured, and I'm looking at how Mikel Arteta is going to line this up, and I think he's not going to take the risk on Emil Smith-Rowe, knowing how he can be injury prone as well in certain occasions. I think he's going to go with Nicola Pepe in the left winger role. Now we're going to look at the centre attacking midfield option, and who is Mikel Arteta going to go with? It's either between Emil Smith-Rowe, Martin Odegaard, or the likes of Willian. And I think Mikel Arteta is going to make this guy a starter. We're going to try and make the most use out of him as possible, and he's someone that has had a brilliant trophy to his hand. Even though Arsenal lost to Liverpool, he won the trophy with Real Sociedad as they won their Spanish Cup. And when it comes to Martin Odegaard, he's someone that came out happy probably out of the game, even though he's probably sad as well at the same time. But when it comes to the centre attacking midfield option, hopefully this guy gets the service he deserves, because give the ball to Martin Odegaard and he will make something happen. If you guys look at the statistics for the game versus Liverpool, I think he had maybe single figure touches or something, that he was really poor. Like only in the last 10 minutes or something, he got like 5-6 touches, a lot more touches like to his usual abilities. But give this guy the ball, he will try and create something. He's got a good eye for a pass, he's got the technical flair and ability, and I think he can really make things happen. So play Martin Odegaard in my opinion. And that's what I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with, because he's a fan favourite of Martin Odegaard himself, and they seem to have a good relationship on the pitch and off the pitch. But hopefully Mikel Arteta is able to sign him on a permanent transfer next season, and hopefully we have Martin Odegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe with a good rotation, or both playing in the same team, or good change in formation with maybe a 4-3-3 formation with Partey with two centre attacking midfielders, like the way Manchester City play. Now we're going to look at the right winger role, and there's someone that's going to be back from injury, someone that did come back from injury in the game versus Liverpool where he didn't play really. He was just made sure for precaution in my opinion, and that's Bukayo Saka. And we really miss this guy, and he's someone that, alongside Kieran Tierney, is someone that's very important to this team, even though Bertrand is important as well. Out of these three players, we can really build this team around, and Thomas Partey as well. And I think Bukayo Saka is someone that's going to play in that right winger role. And for me, Even though Mikel Arteta could go with a 3-4-3 formation and change Bukayo Saka to the left wing back role, I think seriously Bukayo Saka is so versatile. He can really play anywhere in the pitch, in my opinion. He can even probably play in goal as well. We just really don't know. But when it comes to Bukayo Saka, is really decent, and he's someone that is probably going to start in terms of Mikel Arteta, because we got Nicola Pepe and Bukayo Saka the only options in that right winger role, and the likes of Reece Nelson and other players like them, but not given the opportunity. But I think it's going to be Bukayo Saka that's going to be starting. And for me, as always, kept on saying throughout this whole video that I would love to see a 3-4-3 formation, because I think it ticks all the boxes in my opinion. Play Pablo Mari, play Gabriel Magalhaes, maybe play Rob Holding, or play Callum Chambers and then put Hector Bellerin in the right wing back role. There's a lot of things I was going to talk about at the end of the video. Make sure you guys listen about my possible starting lineup. So now we're going to move into the striker role, and I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Alexandre Lacazette up front, because he looked very annoyed with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's performance. And I think he's had enough with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, in my opinion, because he gave him the opportunity to keep playing, and he's going to take the risk. If he keeps on playing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, then he's going to lose the dressing room, in my opinion. And that's the big talk of this last week, pretty much since the Liverpool game. If Mikel Arteta keeps playing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he's going to lose the dressing room, and then no one's going to play for Mikel Arteta. So he has to take his decisions wisely, and that's why he's the manager of Arsenal. Thankfully, it's not me, and there's a lot of going through his mind. I think he's probably stressed, but this is very important, and hopefully he can take it on his shoulders and get this team to glory, in my opinion. So who is Mikel Arteta going to go up front? As I mentioned, is going to be Alexandre Lacazette. Pretty much a Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I think, is going to be dropped to a large extent. I think he's going to be dropped. And we got Gabriel Martinelli following Balogun and the other players. And I would love to see Gabriel Martinelli play alongside Nicola Pepe, because that's why I'm going to keep talking about my 3-4-3 formation. And when I get to that, you guys are going to listen when I give my possible starting lineup. But I think Mikel Arteta is going to go with Alexandre Lacazette up front. And I thought he was alright when he got the ball. He did work hard for the team, but he was making sloppy passes. He was getting angry with the players. But there's something about Alexandre Lacazette I really like, is that he works hard for this team, and he's very good when it comes to link-up play as well. So hopefully he can have good link-up play versus Slavia Prague. And I think this is the lineup Mikel Arteta is going to go with. Probably Emil Smith-Rowe is properly fit. I know that Saka and Xhaka are properly fit, but Smith-Rowe is a little bit of a doubt. So he might go with Smith-Rowe instead of Nicola Pepe. But I'm going to talk about my possible starting lineup and how I want it to be. I want a 3-4-3 formation. I'm calling it. Everyone's might tell me, okay, why are you going 3-4-3 formation? We just been playing with the 4-2-3-1 formation. It's been doing well for us. But look, how do we win the FA Cup? We win it in a 3-4-3 formation. I think Mikel Arteta should really go back, just from the situation, the fact that Kieran Tierney's not playing. Let's just play with the 3-4-3 formation. It's worked before, and we didn't get the best use out of Kieran Tierney, in my opinion. But now we got good centre-backs as well. So for me, I'll play Bernd Leno in goal. With 3 centre-backs, I'll play Pablo Mari on the left centre-back position, Gabriel Magalhaes in the middle centre-back position, and then in the right centre-back position, I'll go with Callum Chambers. And then in the left wing-back row, I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka. And in the right wing-back row, I'm going to go with Cedric Soares. And the reason being, because Callum Chambers, you know the way Mikel Arteta likes to play, he likes to take one of the centre-backs and make him go forward, like what Kieran Tierney was doing with Bukayo Saka on the left-hand side. I think he can do that on the right-hand side with both Callum Chambers and Cedric Soares both pushing forward. And we can also push Bukayo Saka forward as well, and then Granit Xhaka, as we all know, likes to play in that left back position. He can drop deep, and I think that's something Mikel Arteta can utilise, in my opinion. And in terms of the right centre mid position and left centre mid position, Xhaka Partey partnership. Partey partnership, I struggle to say that, in my opinion. But then Thomas Partey and Xhaka in midfield, so that's a double pivot. So we have 5 at the back, pretty much, with the 5 players I just mentioned, with 2 in the middle, and then. So we're going with 3-4-3. So who's playing up? The 3 players playing up front, and this is where the problem comes. Who does Mikel Arteta go with? And I thought, why not go with Martin Ødegaard instead of Granit Xhaka? So that's something Mikel Arteta can do. Or why not go with Smith-Rowe? But then with the 3 up front, he can try and do some form of formation where Bukayo Saka is definitely going to play. Not playing in that front 3, so he's going to be playing the left wing back role. So why not play Nicola Pepe on the right hand side maybe, or even put Ødegaard and Smith-Rowe in the left wing and right winger role, and play even Gabriel Martinelli or Alexandre Lacazette. So something like that, I think 3-4-3 formation will really change this team, in my opinion, and hopefully he can do something like that, in my opinion. But other than that, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this possible starting lineup. Make sure you guys comment below if you have any disagreements or agreements. But other than that, guys, remain blessed. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.